Roubaix is kind of very much a a dream. I mean, I don't know enough about it to having had no experience at it, like trying to win things like Flanders in the past, etc. I know how valuable experience is in trying to win something like that. So I think we're all in the same boat. So it feels a bit ambitious to say I want to win the first ever Roubaix, having never even ridden the cobbles and all the horror stories I've heard about them. But I still want to put it out there as a goal. And yeah, I haven't had enough experience on it, but I intend to get some before the race itself.
Yeah, what specific training can you do towards that race? Do you just need to go there?
I think so, yeah. I think you just need to have experience on those cobbles, and I think equipment selection comes into it a lot. I think there's, in terms of physical, I mean, it's just about being able to survive lots of hard efforts and attacks over the cobbles. I think probably it's a bit difficult to combine the fact that you have the Ardennes week, which you usually focus on climbing. You know, that's only a week later, and it's not quite the same thing. I don't think it'll necessarily be a great thing to be as lean as possible for the Roubaix cobbles and flesh along. So it will be difficult to combine it, but that's why I've kind of said I would prefer to focus on Roubaix and Flanders and the cobble classics rather than the Ardennes classics.
Okay. When you look at, you know, I don't want to dwell on sort of the retirement issue that was been a topic of conversation for so long, but when you look back at your career to date, you know, you've had the world title, you've had Olympic success. When you're looking for new goals, something like Paris-Roubaix, is that a huge new motivation for you?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah, I think also just the fact that women's cycling has grown so much in depth as well. I do think I'm part of a new sport. I do think each year it's harder to win races, and that is still motivating for me. You know, winning as many races, say, as I did in 2016, now is way harder than it was then. So I still have plenty of motivation. It's not easy. So I guess that keeps me motivated.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it's part of a new sport, I mean, it develops so quickly all the time, doesn't it? I just, one thing I wanted to ask about, obviously Trek has strengthened even further this winter. You brought in sort of Diedrichsen, Chloe Hoskin, you know, it pushed on another level. What does that bring to the sport? Because I think we saw some comments from Annemiek van Vleuten that she didn't want to join a team that became too strong, too dominant, because it changes the dynamics of the sport. Where do you see women cycling at in terms of that? What did you make of those comments?
I think that they're fair. Yeah, I think it's important that the kind of women who are winning races are spread out amongst different teams. I think, although, you know, I don't think dominant teams ever last forever. I think you see that in men's cycling as well. I think Ineos have had a few years, and then other teams get up to that level too. And I think in women's cycling now, with the announcement of things like Cofidis having a team, it means that there will be more competition for and room to negotiate for riders. So it won't just be about choosing a team where you can get a decent salary. It'll be choosing a team where there'll be opportunities and different dynamics than there ever has been before. I think that'll be quite exciting and interesting. And I think that was having more top tier teams will stop the pool of talent just being in one team. I don't think that will happen.
Yeah. When you say you feel like you're competing in a different sport than maybe the one you were racing in a few years ago, what do you mean by that? What are the sort of things that you notice are different?
Things like my kind of trademark move, or things that won me races back then, was I would be able to attack at the bottom of the steep climb and pull away, and a break would be formed. Whereas now, the speed into the bottom of the climb, because of the depth of the peloton, doesn't allow a jump, my jump, to get me a bigger gap as it used to, because we're already, I'm already closer to my limit entering the climb. Like, just the general speed of the racing has increased, I think.